Okay, first things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. I'm the creator of a Luminous 4K screen paint using ambient light projection technology gain times 2, 3, and 5. In this demonstration, I'm going to show you something very, very interesting. Now, in one of my demonstrations, I flashed the label, alright? But, in that demonstration, and I'll post it at the bottom, check it out, the product that was in the label was never applied to a screen, and it was never mentioned by name. Now, the reason why is because the screen paint was basically my own mix that I made here. This is a cheap mix that I made, and that's what it was, pretty much. Let me show you something. So bottom line, this is a mix. Anytime you mix black with gray and gray with black, it is considered to be a mix. That's what it is. When you mix two things together, it becomes a mix. Now, in that demonstration, I mentioned two mixes. I got the mix by using the latex multi-purpose gray paint, not even screen paint, just gray paint. One of it was bare silver screen. We had a bare silver screen here too also, but this is a multi-mix right here, about $17, and this one over here is just a black paint that I got. I paid around about $8 or $9 for it. That's basically about it. Now, in one of the video demonstrations, I've seen somebody actually mix black and white together with this particular paint, and they got their mix from that. This right here, if you want black, you just add in more black paint and less silver, a little bit of that's silver. Silver will make a difference. If you drop silver in it, it's still going to come out muddy. You put gray into it, more black, less gray. You get the black screen, the black mix right here. And if you basically put in more gray and a little bit of black, you'll get that mix right there. Now, keep in mind, like I said, the reason why we do all these insane demonstrations, like taking the screens outside and all different forms of element of weather and the snow, scrubbing screens down with pot holders, heating up screens in the oven, hitting screens with tons of ambient light, using low caliber projectors. The reason why we do all these insane demonstrations is to show you that our technology differs from anything out there on the market. Now, as I said before, when it comes to a black screen, any black screen, even black house paint, even black blackout cloth is going to produce a contrast. Any one of those will. But the problem is, can it produce a white level? And white levels is very important because it makes a difference between your picture coming out looking dirty or your picture coming out looking clean. So white levels are very important when it comes to a black screen. So that's why I do the demonstration side by side with everyday black house paint. I do the demonstration side by side with blackout cloth on a white snow scene. Now it's easy if someone's going to do this demonstration with some pretty fish floating back and forth. That's not enough. You have to show the white levels. So that's why I do that 10 hours of just white levels or a white snowstorm, just to show you the difference between the two. Now, here's the thing. If someone is ranting because they can't tell the difference between some cheap mix that I made and their own, it just shows that bottom line is there's nothing really to it. If you're going to go down the cheapo line and you're pretty much going to basically wreck your screen to begin with, spend money you don't need to spend, and basically get the worst quality you're possibly going to get out of your investment on your projector, you might as well just go out and just make it yourself. It's like $23 a gallon. That's pretty much, or $30 a gallon. That's pretty much what you're going to end up with. But I'm going to show you in the demonstration where Superior, next to the this is cheap paint. Next to the cheap mix that is a lighter gray, and next to the one that is black, that our screen both can produce high white levels when it comes to that black cheap mix, and produce high white levels and also better contrast when it comes to the cheap light mix. Now, as I said before, this is why we do these demonstrations, to show you that if you go out and you invest your time in making your own paint, if you go out and you basically buy another cheap mix, you're just going to get the same results. And keep in mind, like I said, when you use a high power projector such as 4K, the 4K projector does all the work. Alright, before we start, listen to me on this. If you go to Elite Screens, you go sit in their show booth, how much you want to bet that projector sitting behind you is not 720p? How much you want to bet? Now, if that projector is, say, somewhere between $5,000, $6,000, and you have a 720p or 1080p projector, and that projector happens to be 4K, do you think you're going to get the same picture in your home as they showed off in the show booth? What do you think? I don't think you are. I think that 4K projector they have sitting behind there, the high power projector, is going to do all the work, and you're pretty much going to be left with a screen that's not going to be able to give you the same results because you don't have the same projector. Same thing when it comes to mine when I tell you about these cheap screen paints being hooked up to these high power projectors, poorly lit ambient light environments or dark environments to make the screen look good. Alright, so let's move on from there because I like to put a little education out there to show you exactly what we're doing before we go down this road, and to warn you, if you want the best out of your projector, stay away from this mess. Alright, so first things first, we're going to go over here and we're going to get our black screen paint. This is the mix that we made. You know, sometimes I just sit back and I just watch because, like I said, just because we flashed the label doesn't mean we used it. So to go into a rant like that is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Alright, so first thing first, we're going to come over here, side by side. We have over here Superior Technology. This is a cheap mix. And there you can see it for yourself, the difference between the two. And that's what I mean by it. It'll come out dirty. It's supposed to be white. It should be matching the white wall. See the walls there is white? It should be matching it. But that's what you're getting. You're getting a dirty, 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 dirty paint. The paint's dirty. It can produce contrast. Like I said, any black screen is going to produce contrast. White levels are very important because that makes a difference of whether or not your screen is going to be dirty or clean. Alright, now let's come over here. Let's grab ourselves a, let's grab ourselves a nice snowstorm. See it? That's what you're getting. That dirty, muddy image, that's what you're getting. It's supposed to be white, not muddy. So these are the demonstrations that they will not do. They won't do these demonstrations. They take that screen and they stick it against take your screen, stick it against another black screen, and show pure white levels. Not gray, pure white levels. Now, let me show you what happens when it comes to skin tone. And this is my own mix that I made. And this just shows you, like I said, if you're going to invest the time, you're going to invest the money for a good projector, why would you cheat yourself out of a good screen? Why? And like I said, any screen is going to produce black contrast. Look at this. You see how dirty the skin looks? That's the difference between a Superior. Superior has one of the highest white levels on a black screen. Like I said, it's going to produce contrast. But you can see with the picture, it's going to come up oversaturated. It's going to come up dirty. You're not going to get natural color. There's so much oversaturation of black that the skin color becomes dirty, becomes dingy. grab me another video. See the difference? See how dirty the color looks? That's why we do the scenery with the white. Because when you put in a pure white color, to show you exactly what you're getting and how dirty the screen's coming up. And that's what you're getting. Dirty product. Now, next demonstration, I'm going to take the screen outside and show you another demonstration too. It's not going to pick up. There's no gain to the paint whatsoever. It's just regular house paint. There's nothing different about it. That's what you're getting from dirty paint. Now, so we're going to do the next demonstration. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to grab me some pretty flowers. All right, take this off. I'm going to grab the lighter screen paint. That's our screen. And I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning. Just to show you that a superior produces better contrast. Contrast is everything. Because contrast allows colors to pop. This projector I'm using is a BenQ. It's only 3,000 lumens, and look how washed out the image looks. But our screen can produce a high enough white level where it can actually blend in. So I want something little, you can see better contrast is there. There we go. And look how high the white levels are. So that shows you that the Superior has the ability to produce high white levels and black levels at the same time. Alright, now if I were to go over here and grab a demonstration on contrast, this is what you would get from the lighter paint. Wait, let me go back there for a minute. You guys, I gotta see this. Check this out. So look at this. This is our black technology right here. And that's the other screen. And this is how high the white levels are on our black technology. All this is supposed to be jet black. And this is what the cheap mix will do. It has no contrast. It only has high white levels. And sometimes the white levels can be so high it can become blinding. Well, like I said, any black screen is going to produce contrast. White levels is going to be a problem on a black screen. That's going to make the difference if the picture becomes dirty or dingy. So like I said, you can go out and spend $23, $30 for a gallon and make your own screen paint, but this is what you're going to get. The investment that you put into your projector is what you're going to get out of it when it comes to the screen. In this demonstration, I have shown you that I've made two different forms of cheap mixes. One was actually a darker, one was actually a lighter. With the lighter, basically you lose color, you lose contrast, and it's just a hot mess altogether. With the blacks, you don't pick up true white levels. So if you don't pick up true white levels, that means color becomes dirty. That means white levels become dirty. Looking at a nice beautiful sky, you're going to get the blues, but you're going to get the dirty white. Alright, again, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Thank you all for your time, and God bless.